Okay, so to the last speaker, man, the very first thing that struck me when you were speaking, HK, not agent, previous speaker, was when you talk about, it looks like you always do this, you talk about what your mama taught you. Why you guys never talk about what your father taught you? There's a reason. There's a reason why you guys are like this, right? It's because of the matriarchy, right? The matriarchy has you in a chokehold, right? I'm sorry. I'm happy to start a GoFundMe for you to be father. I'm happy for, I'll be the first contributor to your GoFundMe so you can meet your father for the first time. So, no, let me stop you there. Yeah.
You gotta let them finish his submission. And I will make sure you get the same grace. I promise you, brother. Were you done, Anthony, or were you still going?
All right, so as I was saying, this, you weren't in the room. You don't know what the fuck got said. I said that there's no black community. I also said there's no white community. I talked about sub-community. If you want to talk about black people in Louisiana and New Orleans specifically, hell fucking yeah, there's a fucking community of them. They are subcultures. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's Irish. There's black people in New York. There's black people in Brooklyn. They are absolutely communities, but there's no overarching black community. There's no overarching white community. There's no overarching black culture. There's no overarching white culture. If you don't know the nuance, stop speaking on the shit.
I point out the intellectual flaw that you're making. Now, let me respond. Let me respond. This is my thing. Will you give me 30 seconds? 30 seconds, I promise.
All right, so we'll do this. 30 seconds on CR, then it goes to Black, and Black, whenever you're done, nobody will interrupt you, then we'll go back to the positive.
So there's so many points to unpack in all of this, but just on the one point that Anthony said a few times about there's no white and black are mythical terms that we use for subjugation. But when we attach culture to it, anything can be a culture, right? So to have his only point be the attack of black culture is actually racist, right? Let me tell you what I mean. Irish culture, there's no overarching cultures. There's multiple Irish subcultures. There's multiple French subcultures. Every culture has a subculture. So to spend all of your time making an intellectual argument define that there's no black subculture, no black culture is disingenuous. Let me just tell you what I thought was really brilliant with the person that was in JB's room over at Healthy Debate. He said there might not be black culture, but there's black cultures. And all he did is took one little letter and changed the whole conversation. Meaning there are multiple black cultures. We're limiting ourselves. We're not one black culture. There are multiple black cultures, and I love that now.
Yeah, but it's also a black culture too.
No. Hold on.
It's on HK.
So listen, this is where the sickness I was talking about earlier about influence. When I was in the room, you heard somebody say, I said my mother, so I was raised by two parents. So sometimes my dad, something about like two parents, two different perspectives. One was military, one was military. So when I had relatives, so I had folks for both parents. But see what happened, this is a sickness. Don't know this from candidate. All you heard me say one submission, but you inherited the white stereotype of what? You don't know your father. I'm English when you see my father. You don't want to see my father. If my father knows what you just said to me just now about his wife, he would definitely be here right now. But listen, the problem is, right? We have these conversations. People don't even know. People don't even know, right? Listen, see, here's the problem, right? Y'all take we conflate intelligence with articulation, but true intelligence is understanding. The lack of understanding that is displayed by individuals is sad. It's sickening. To me, it's not even about being ignorant. It's a sickness to me. These people need help. They need to actually be treated. We need to have a rehab for this because it's dangerous, sad. It's sad to hear somebody parent the same jokes I hear from a white person, or I hear from Tucker Carlson, right? This is the danger we have in our community, right? conspiracy themes without attacking the points. My point was about messaging, and there was never. The only thing that was addressed was the disrespect of my heritage and my lineage. But that's all they have is attacks and disrespect. This is why I don't have these conversations with people like that, because it's never genuine. It's going to be aggression. It's going to be attacks. It's going to be disrespect.
And I just want to give a pushback. It is an overarching black culture, right? I mean, we can go to the black church, we can go vernacular. It's the reason why I shoot in Los Angeles. I'm way on the goddamn East Coast. If I say certain stuff, shoot gonna pick up on Jamal's in North Carolina. So there is an overarching black culture also. So I kind of disagree with Anthony on that. I will say this. Every group on the planet of this world, ethnic group, I don't care where you at, they have a culture. Particularly blacks in America, they got a culture. So I don't know why we have this debate.
Yeah, Omar, you just gotta say black American culture though.
See, that's why what I always point out is the weeds that Anthony forces us to have to go down. To your point, CO, and to what HK just said, where now he enjoys apparently censoring himself so much that now we have to have these debates really to legitimize his whole point. Opposed to, this is my opinion, okay, good. Next person, what's your opinion? Okay, next person. And we could have 100, 1,000 different people share their thing, and that never is allowed to happen because he's a master at deceit and moving it to where now every conversation got to be about him when we're talking about the black community, because he has to use this tactic of, oh, this is my opinion, and it becomes the centralized theme of every damn thing that he touches. It becomes about, now that's where there's a huge pushback, because it's like, bro, slow the hell down. You don't represent the voice, like Mojo said. He's the black voice for Clubhouse. We know it's not. However, when it is given so much airtime, especially the NWs or whoever that really don't know, they brand new, they're 25 years here, they this and that, they don't know all the layers to this. They begin to reiterate these same crazy talking points because they sit back and say, well, nobody's checking him. Obviously, if there were some real blacks that knew black culture, surely, in these black rooms especially, somebody would shut him up. Somebody would be like, just like in the Jewish world, it happens. In the Italian, any other world, someone brought up a little while ago, you don't have other culture. And they got quiet as a church mouse when CL threw it out there. Please go into any of these rooms and highlight the negative shit that goes down in the Chinese world or the Jewish world or the Irish world. Please do that, man. So then we can say you are consistent. You do that across the board. But when you don't, we know what we're looking at.
Hey, but shoot, to be fair though, in many white circles, you do hear that narrative, oh, it ain't no white culture. And I even hear black folks say that too. But it is a white culture.
You know what I'm saying? There's not a white culture. There's Italian culture, Irish culture, Polish culture. There is not a white culture. Unless you're talking about like Southern white, like Confederacy white. So about Confederacy white.
Hold on, Theo. The context of America, right? Can we agree that the Polish, the Irish, the Italian boys, they all like American football almost? Can we agree on that, at least?
Yeah, but that's not white.
No.
Okay. Yes, we can, but it's American culture. That's American culture.
Hold on, no, what it is, CC, that's what I said. It's white American.
No, that's just American culture.
Okay, see, let me present another argument. See,
y'all
let me try, because let me say this, because a lot of people look at it in terms of
you don't like American football.
guys, let me just respond to that. So yes, I'm just saying, even among white people, if you refer to them as such, right? They believe that they have a culture that is different from other ethnicities. So, if you're familiar with the term like WASP, you know what a WASP is. So, I hear in many, let me just finish. I've heard in many instances, white Americans refer to, their culture and their ideas and their communities. So just the idea that you don't believe that they have one doesn't make that true. But it's a social concept. So if they believe they have a community, if they believe that they're part of a collective, separate them from other people. I mean, whether you believe or not that it's a community, if it's the cat.
I agree on that. That's a 100%. Yeah, whites do that fault. Come on, that's a Robert. What were you gonna say?
So those black men who don't take care of raise their children, is that a part of black culture? Is that black culture?
It's a part of our culture, yes. It's a part of Black American culture. But it's not everything about our culture is fucking good. So it doesn't matter. But the reality of it is American first. And so that's the truth of the matter. We're American. And that's what is different from a black Nigerian or a black Ghanaian. We're black American. So the flavor that we bring is American flavor. And that's what makes us who we are. And that's why everybody around the globe centers around black American. Because we're American. So that's what that is.
I'm just saying, be careful when y'all saying white Americans don't have culture, because that's the same thing when people say, "Oh, black Americans don't have a culture." Just because it's familiar with everybody and everybody accepts it globally.
First of all, it was a stupid comment. Black men don't take care of their children. That was a stupid comment to make in general. It has nothing to do with culture. It's incorrect. It's unresearched, and you're an idiot for saying it.
Yeah, so Omar, yes, I wanted to say that. But Omar, on the white American thing, okay, so like, I only hear whites in Confederate states or like MAGA whites say that. I don't ever hear what you're talking about, like in the Mid-Atlantic, in the North Coast. I don't ever hear that. I don't ever hear them even claim that.
No, they say it's CEO. Let me just give a quick anecdote. Quick anecdote. I mean, like I said, it's not something that they talk about in front outside. But in the few instances, they will actually refer to. Those, happy hours or those, drinking events, and I'm saying, you ever heard this term? And I'm assuming you may have heard this. Oh, you act white, or so what do you think they're referring to?
Yeah, but that's not a culture thing. That's like,
no, it's culture. It's culture.
Hey, see, who are present gentrifiers that move from like the Midwest, when they come to like Philly and New York, they say, "Oh my God, we have no culture in the Midwest. You guys got all the culture here and all that." So, white folks.
I'll give you the Midwest. But I guess my point is, it's not very unifying, right? You're not going to get in New York, Georgia, Cali, and Utah to agree on their culture. That's not going to happen. We can get black people from different states to agree on their culture. Well, we can't get white people.
A culture is not the best point that point right here that he just made. Guys, a culture is not created because people agree on certain things, right? It's a lot of like black folks in New York, right? Listen to a certain type of music, we move a certain way. Then you got a black community in another part of the country, same thing. But there's some undeniable stitches that link us together, right? Undeniable. We don't even have to have the same exact agenda, but there's certain things that we're automatically going to align over. So this notion that there has to be an agreement for a culture to exist is not true. A culture is manifested by how people surround themselves around the same things. They relate to each other. That's what
I'm calling agreements, just FYI.
And Robert,
considering that agreement.
Let's understand the fact that there was a white fountain at some point, and white things that you could do in the community way back in America's history. Right. And it was everybody. The black folks could not drink from that fountain. So everything else was damn near in the black category to some extent, because black was definitely not in the white category. A lot of other folks, you understand, New Orleans and being the French quarters and passing for Passe Blanc and passing for white. So understand, we talk the white culture, that's one thing. But to talk about everybody else is lumped into this category of non-white, which they'd be black, but there was a definite thing about so-called Negro. You couldn't even say black, man. It was like a Negro or a colored boy or whatever. It was so, that's a part of the story, too. If you
If I
say something really quick on. We squander our intellect and our academics on not understanding the simplicity of this conversation and what it stems from. If I could just say 60 seconds to do my best to unpack it, right? We should all stop right now and give the slave plantation owners, the 1600s and 1700s around the pause. They said if you put a shackle around an elephant's foot, make it walk in a circle, it'll keep walking in a circle forward. It's like, here we are living in the best seduced organization system, whether you call it Jim Crow or just trying to build a country. What I know for sure is that the concept of white was literally, like I said in the room, a concept created to subjugate black people, because in Europe, you couldn't tell the serfdom from the royalty if they got dressed right. That's why. Yeah. So it was just so diabolically brilliant for them to come up with this concept that had never been used before, the way that we use it, of white, and then add the concept of black to it, right? That was never used. And think about how diabolical and brilliant that slave master was. Here we are for several hours on a Saturday in 2025 while they're rolling back black rights, white rights, and habeas corpus and due process in the government. And we're having several hours of conversation litigating something that was snubbed in the violence. Here's what I'm trying to say. All we're talking about is what is black people, what is culture, what is white people. And we have these conversations and nauseam, and it means when we peel back the curtains for a minute, or the sheets that I know who to it. What we're discussing is the ambiguity of the term black. Whether we're black or colored or Negro or African or African-American or Pan-American or African-American or Trinidadian, they wanted us to have these discussions. They wanted us to alienate ourselves from other people. The Russians knew how sensitive this Civil War front line was, so much so that they spent the past 10 years jumping in every social media platform and creating fake platforms because they knew the way to destabilize America was to get black people and white people arguing over Confederacy or this, that, and the third. And we just realized if anybody's in marketing here, just think like that. What would our black culture look like if we were a marketing case study? We're just ambiguous in the way that we defined it, and we're in spaces. But it's the same thing for white people because they confuse some of them to a fault. The French look down on the British look down on the Irish, and all three of them look down on the Polish. The Protestants are fighting the Catholics. The Russian and Italian mafia sometimes have beef. So what I'm saying is white people aren't even mixed together as we try to describe it. So can we just stop acting like we're having academic conversations when all we're saying is this ambiguous term that they gave us to sustain the division, it's still playing itself out several years later after the invention of that.
Like Anthony. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say is, I don't know if I agree with it. I think your description of what it is actually accurate. What I don't agree with is, that there's no utility in having a discussion. If black people don't even know what black means or understand whether black people have a culture or not, or what African culture is, I think that speaks to a bigger issue, right? Whether it's anonymity or
we do know what the culture is. There's no culture either, y'all. There's no overall African culture. That's why
Agent, can you describe 3 tenets of white culture?
There's no overarching.
No. When you say 3 tenets,
of white culture.
When you say 3 tenets, so here's the thing. Tenets is a very specific word, and I'm very specific.
Individualism.
That's state words. So I think.
No assist. I want 3 tenets of white culture.
that, I mean, these things are also show constructs. So, I mean, when they say that you're acting white, I mean, the thing might be definitely an attribute of white characteristics, but I mean, would you say being able to dance or being able to rap is black? Not specifically, but it's black culture, right? So, I mean, for me, it would depend on the context of what they're actually referring to. So, some of the cases where I've actually been accused of playing white is doing activities that are normally associated with white people, like playing golf or tennis or eating medium rare steaks or wine and cheese. I mean, so for me, it really depends on the context. So, I mean, so it's not up to me to actually determine what their culture is. But they can describe it.
Come on, y'all. Y'all is talking about what's white culture. Y'all, come on, y'all. Gotta stop.
Yeah, for a moment, go get him started.
It's a one. Everybody has a culture, y'all. We gotta stop that.
Come on, we gotta have a cue so we can hear each other. Somebody says, could they get in? Who was that?
That was my self here.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I have a question to the room, and that is, okay, based on a people, Black, African, how you want to word it, based on we as a people, from where we were, how we got to where we are today. I just want to ask, is there anyone who would argue the fact that they have no pride in us as a people, where we are today? That's the only question I have. Is there anyone who would say, from whenever and whatever's happened in the past, we'll start with the Civil War, whatever it may be, as to where we are today, you have absolutely zero pride in us as a people? Anyone?
You're in the wrong room, bro.
Nobody's going to answer that question. Nobody did try to answer that question and say not proud. You see it? And you know why? Because they know our culture, they know our contribution. That's why nobody's going to answer that question. That's why you.
Well, I heard someone say I was in the wrong room. Is that, what do you mean?
No. I was just saying that nobody. I was pretty much saying what Rob was going to say.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. And I asked that question because I can hear a lot of right and all different aspects of everyone speaking. And I can hear it's a lot of gray. Some dark clouds, some the lightning, whatever it may be. But I still hear a people who have some pride, have a lot of pride, maybe some more than others. It all depends on their journey on this planet and their experiences. But I asked that question because born in the 60s, understanding segregation and understanding being in an all-black school, and then being transitioned into a whole different type of system, and seeing how the system has done so many things to our people over time, I wanted to ask that question to see if we've lost that pride we had. And I still believe we have. It's why. Because when you come to the table with pride behind you, and people are hearing your experiences, can understand why you feel the way you bring back the way you bring them, it's good to just still hear the pride. Because that's the part, that little seed of pride, if that's worked out of us, then you're back in church.
Yeah, I know. So can you just provide an example of the lack of pride?
I would certainly believe that much.
Let us that brother.
Okay, enough with the slavery. Go ahead, bro.
Well, let's leverage what that experiment was a unique experiment, right? So can we leverage that sense of pride? Can we leverage that shit? Like, why? I question those who are on a campaign to anything positive about black people, man. You have to question what what creates a mind like that just because we have success, right? We own cars, we own property, we have money, and therefore we think we are free, or we think that we are not subjected to racism and prejudice. I have so many stories working in corporate and otherwise that give me examples every single day of how this society views black people, right? I was in Trump Village Thursday with my mom, helping her with some errands, right? That is a Russian community. And if I had $1 for every time the Russian community over there, they got some Ukrainians over there as well, the way they look at you, man, and you know, and I was having fun because I would turn my head real quick and just look at them, and you could just see the disdain, the body language, and everything that they had towards our energy, and it was just so disgusting, right? So that's a real thing. Somewhere along the line, these individuals have bought into a narrative, right, and a stereotype, and then when I walk into their proximity, they had that, and they relate it to me, and they let me know I'm not really welcome there. We'll be nice to you, but go on and do what you got to do, and go on and get out of here. It didn't feel comfortable. So it's a real thing, man. Somebody is aligning themselves up in different silos, and we just have to call a thing a thing. But for some reason, we can't do anything positive for ourselves. We can't talk positive about ourselves. It's always got to be this derailing of us having any type of unity. And we just showed that people do have some pride. Let's leverage that shit.
I want to know, I can appreciate that, Robert, and thank you. I want to know the fucking question. Give me an example of what makes it, give us an example of somehow black folks losing our identity or our pride in some way. How do we arrive at that conclusion? Can you give us an example?
Yeah, what's the metrics for you?
Is that question to me?
Yeah, you're the one that made the comment.
I didn't say we. If I misspoke, what I said, as long as we keep pride as a foundation in which we speak on, even if you come from your view, anyone's pain, anyone's whatever they present, as long as there's that pride there, because a lot of other cultures, races, any way you want to look at it, they have a history that they can kind of build a foundation on that has some pride to it. When I'm in rooms and walking about in rooms, I do listen a lot to just see if there's any loss in that. I haven't seen any loss in it. We come at, we bring a lot of stuff to the table from all kinds of angles. I hear a lot of good in all of it. But I just want to put that out, is that always maintain that pride. And I heard someone speak about their pride for their family. And that's a good way to start. If you're saying pride from your family or your community or whatever it may be that you see, that you have some pride in you. I would say, if I heard, and I haven't heard anyone really coming at it saying that they have absolutely no pride in we as a people. So that's why I asked it. So I wasn't saying that.
I see. Your question was rhetorical, is what you were saying.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, no, that was my.
No problem. That's what I was saying. As much as I've heard throughout, and from my journey from the early 60s all the way up, there was definitely a black and white. It was black and white. The pride was there. We knew who we were, what we wanted, and that's what was stood on. And maybe, after getting, sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for. It may just wind up, we're living some of it today. But that's in almost any system, anything that you kind of look at. You be careful, because what you experienced 20, 30 years later, yeah, maybe it didn't work out like you thought it would. But I still hear pride. I still do. And we have to keep that, because so many others start shaking that loose. The fist being put up, the march, the civil rights. And yes, there are a lot of others who ride on what we've, done in this country.
I mean, let's be honest, the Civil War wouldn't be a whole different world if it wasn't for us being involved. A lot of wars wouldn't turn out if it wasn't for our people being involved and engaged. If you go to a little bit, of military history, some of the programs that were put in place that was starting to be a stepping stone from us was taken away from us. When you talk about the prison system, before, even if you go back, there were options to us when we got in trouble of joining the military. And when I was coming in, I came in the 80s, that system was still there. And people who, minor things were going into the military. Hey, get you straight. And they got a lot of us straight. As soon as they figured out that was really working for us, bingo, pulled it away, and now you go to jail.
I don't agree with that metric.
Quinn, I want to ask you a question. Well, I don't have an opinion on this, by the way. I just want to see what your thoughts. Stop it, Jamal. Stop. So in 1990, 17% of Black college students went to HBCUs. Today, that's down to 9%. Is that good, bad, or neutral?
That is not a good metric.
That's terrible.
It's not a good metric at all.
That's a bad metric to use, though.
But there's also.
I'm not asking it as a metric. I'm just asking your opinion on it.
Well, I think it's obviously there's obviously reasons for that. It's not just obviously a simple lack of desire to do so. I think the college in general, for people in general, if we look at those metrics across the board, college, I would say the admission, but college in terms of, the admissions in terms of college in general for people have gone down. So I think that HBCUs are going in the same direction, but obviously to answer your question directly, absolutely, it's not a good thing at all. But I think less people in general are going to college.
Yeah, so let me reframe the stat. Sorry, let me clarify the stat. There's more people in college. All Black students who are going to college, 17% went to HBCUs and only 9% go now. That's what it's saying. It's not really not like Black students. But it's more of a exciting road now than in 1990.
I'm sorry, have either one of you gone to Black colleges?
I think
what I live in North Carolina.
I'm referring to two people who got kids.
Well, all I was trying to say was that we just got this triangle in North Carolina area.
Because you're interrupting.
I was coming to North Carolina, and we've got 9 or 10 historically Black colleges, and those are going to end up adding huge amounts of jobs for young Black people coming and going out of those Black colleges, straight out of North Carolina. And I'm really excited about it. So I think the future looks bright for young Black people in the tech industry.
Realistically, it does not. So, that sounds good.
I know. We shall.
Stop thinking, bro. Stop that.
I
think there's an overarching point that's more important than the nuances that we're focused on. In the last 50 years, Black enrollment in higher education has increased by 125%. I want to repeat that. Black enrollment, the Black pursuit of higher education, has increased by 125% over the last 50 years. And I think that's the focal point. More of us are pursuing a higher education, and therefore we have a different set of options when finished.
And also some of the top HBCUs, I graduated from an HBCU and sent 2 daughters to HBCUs. And for whatever it's worth, several of the top HBCUs are welcoming in the largest classes in the history of those organizations. So though the percentage might tell a thing, sometimes we use these data stat points and we don't get into the depth of the issue. We're going to college, we're getting smarter, and that's not just good for Black people, that's good for the world.
And my niece,
I will say that
accepted to Winston-Salem State, man. Shout out to her.
Man, shout out to your niece. Shout out to your niece. I will say this, and I want to pose this question to you guys. And I'm not above judgment, so y'all can judge me all you want. I'm open to that. I'm not going to hide behind the beam. Let me ask y'all this, right? My daughter had the option to go to several HBCUs on a full scholarship, and she also had the option to go to UCLA on a full scholarship. And I let her choose, but my choice would have been UCLA, and that's what she chose. She chose UCLA. What do y'all think of that?
I think that's a great.
She's from California. That's good.
That's a great.
What were the other options, Gemini?
I forget the name of the schools. I don't want to get it wrong. But I know they were HBUs, and they were out of state, and she didn't want to go out of state.
Well, then that makes sense.
She's from California.
I'm from Tuskegee. I like Tuskegee.
Y'all don't have no HBCU out there, right, Cali? On the west side?
I don't think we do.
We ain't got nothing like that on there.
For me, it wasn't even about the ethnicity. It was that UCLA has been the number one public university for like the last 7-8 years. And the alumni network they have is amazing. And that was my focal point. However, she chose that on her own. I didn't push her to that. I let her choose because she worked hard to get to that point.
I like their alumni network. I'm going to Auburn University next year with their alumni network.
I guess I'm fucking talking myself.
I'm sorry, brother. I never got to say anything. I was commenting with Tim and I was saying about it.
Hey, tomorrow they got your Charles Drew University in Los Angeles. That's the HBCU. Charles Drew. When did they open that up? They just opened that up? That was
That's old.
It's in Los Angeles?
Yes. It's not a big school.
Yeah, I know it ain't a lot of niggas out there. It's only 5% black. Yeah, it's still 2 million though out there though tomorrow. Still 2 million. 2 million? I guess. It's crazy. You can scatter 2 million black seeds over basically 5 states.
The exception, I know one of them was in Florida, and I think the other one was in Alabama.
Okay, that's FAMU. I went to FSU with FAMU.
You probably have one in the ASU or either Tuskegee, Alabama for sure.
I just want to say, man, I love black folks, man. I love y'all, man. I love y'all flaws and all. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I love y'all flaws. Bro, you an anchor, baby? You an anchor, baby, Marco? Born and raised here, bro. Come on. I thought you was one of them niggas. One of them anchor baby niggas.
I like what's the definition of an anchor baby? I need to know the definition of an anchor baby.
I'm an anchor baby, bro.
What's an anchor baby? Like, what does that mean exactly?
His mom and dad ain't from here. He was in the army.
It's a person who runs the last leg of a 4x4.
There you go. And it's the last person on the line in the fraternity.
I forgot Omar's a passport, bro.
That's a way to keep the conversation. I love it.
Niggas letting you go rolling around with some kind of.
There's an anchor and ankle. Maybe you just announced that.
What is that?
Anchor, bro. Anchor.
It is anchors, like this.
That's what I said. What the fuck is that?
Y'all should have just let that kid go. Ankle baby. It's ankle baby, you right?
Is it ankle or
Yeah, it's an ankle.
I know exactly what an anchor baby is. I like fucking with him just to see what he say.
You don't know what the fuck that is. I thought it was anchor, like a.
It's anchor.
You stupid motherfucker.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't let Gemini lie to you.
Motherfucker.
Don't let Gemini lie to you.
It's ankle biters.
Yeah, he definitely an ankle biter.
Come on. We know what, you make me laugh, yo.
That's what I'm trying to do, really.
I'm gonna give you the internet knock for that, yo. Yeah.
He also likes to be naked on stage. Don't forget that.
Jamal is my internet builder. Got it, Jamal. I got you now. I ain't gonna fuck with
Dad, let me hold up. I gotta interrupt this interaction before y'all start rubbing penises. Look, would you ever be naked on stage, Dad? Would you ever do that?
No.
Your brother would.
Don't let him deceive you. Don't let him deceive you.
Oh, God, I just can't.
He's not deceiving you.
All right, go ahead now. Tell your truth. Go ahead, tell your truth.
Live in your truth, Jamal. Live in your truth.
I don't got time for all this foolishness.
He's right now naked on his bed and you don't even know.
He's definitely naked right now.
I'm in my truck.
Shit,
He naked in this truck, dude. He naked in this truck right
I got my shirt off. It's hot as fuck out here. It's hot. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Valdez. I do have. Everybody knows about my story. This is my story. This is my song. What's the next verse?
Boy, your eyes again. This is my story. This is my song.
Sounds way better.
Come on, sister.
Somebody been in a
This
choir.
is my savior.
Come on, sister.
We don't want to be Jamal touching himself.
Shalala. That's what I'm talking about.
Raise your hand. That's all we need. We need to pass on.
And y'all turned the room about Anthony into a fucking 3-hour conversation with 150 people.
Oh, hush your fuss. I love it.
Let's give Gemini a hand. Let's give him a round of applause. He cooned his way into a decent room.
Aren't you a cool Gemini?
You can't even respond to ignorance because sometimes people get confused when you interact with ignorance like that, you know.
Hey, shout out to the music that our culture created. Shout out to the rhythm of us. Shout out to our vibration.
That's a fact.
Shout out to us, man. Shout out to us, to the black culture, man. And shout out to Harmony, Grits, Biscuits, and Proud Writers.
Hold on, let me ask y'all this because this is a key point and it's very near and dear to my heart. Do y'all put butter and sugar on your grits? Or do y'all grits?
I like shrimp. I like shrimp in my grits.
Talk about sugar though. We actually put sugar in the grits. Not if you make it right. I don't even like quick grits. I like Harmony old fashioned grits. Like earn your cook some fucking grits.
I'm not trying to judge anybody, but if you put anything other than sugar or sugar and butter, y'all weird as hell.
Shrimp and grits is good.
That's still a weak, Gemini. Put your fucking sugar in your grits now. You gotta add in evaporated milk too. Yeah, nah, bro. Yeah, adding the motherfucking sugar to the grits.
I ain't had sugar on my grits since I was a child.
You don't put cheese in your grits, Gemini?
I used to like.
I like that too. I like sugar, but
They probably put sugar when you guys was kids, so you guys should be.
The white dude on oatmeal.
We know Mel
Yeah, I did.
What they put on it?
Not with sugar.
What y'all put?
What do you mean? It was just with salt.
Why? It's not eggs.
What do you mean? That's what I tasted.
Why would
And I'm talking about cheese and shrimp. I don't know how that is.
I like that. That's good.
That's
good.
My stomach is hurting.
Yeah, that's bomb. That's bomb.
I don't speak, goddammit. So I didn't have grits until I came to the U.S. Grits is the bomb though. So I like grits with shrimp.
I ain't grew up on grits. I grew up on cream and wheat.
Nigga, shut the fuck up.
you grew up on stone
That's with the black guy on the cover, right?
Hey, I grew up on anything they fucking gave me.
So y'all, grits is banging with shrimp. Grits is banging with cheese. Not American cheese, like cheddar cheese and shit like that. Grits is good. Grits is good. But if you put butter and sugar in it, it really is cream though. It really is. I didn't have grits until I came to America. Okay, you know where I'm from, eat porridge and shit like that. So oats porridge, banana porridge, all types.
Yeah, I like porridge.
Yeah, grits is good though. I like grits.
You know,
You had some like the Cajun seasoning up in the grits when you cooking it?
Yeah, it's good. We cook it now though. Believe me, Jamaicans we cooking it.
Yeah, hey, y'all know what I had? I had rice, butter, sugar, and milk. Y'all come up on that?
That's what I told Tom.
Yeah, you can eat that. and I wasn't there.
I don't know. I just call that pork people.
Croquettes. I must have croquettes. Semi-croquettes with the
Yeah, we have A-Bell, rice, butter, sugar, and milk, man. Canned milk, too. That's
I'm telling you, that's why we have nothing to eat.
Salmon croquettes, y'all just, man, I need to go get me some. That shit was good. I need to order some.
They call it croquettes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is culture. This is culture we're talking about. That's why. That's why I'm talking about. That's
Give me fritters.
sweater.
The fritters croquettes.
He said foot.
That's not a part of the culture.
Yo.
You never tried it, first lady? No, I've tried it. I don't like it. Even as a kid, I don't like it. I tried it. I don't like it.
She likes fried chicken.
What don't you like? What she
I
said
don't like the texture. I don't eat oatmeal.
Oh, you like my daughter. You a texture eater. I don't like the texture of that. I don't want that food next to this food because they're gonna mix because of the texture. That's you. That's crazy. That's my daughter. That's my daughter all day.
It mixes in your stomach, so eat it.
And it mix coming out too. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I say some shit like that.
milk is not a part of our culture.
But you're not Gemini, so stop trying to be him. Talking about, I can't say this, I can't say that. All right, then.
Hey, but no, I will say this. I like my wings. Now, how do you like your
I don't eat fried chicken.
Yes, I like
She's a vegan. She's a vegan.
Vegetarian.
A vegetarian.
Okay. Well, you know how I like mine, right? Y'all should
What is the difference? Like, can somebody tell me the difference between
fried hard, but I like it naked. Naked more.
That's why nobody, there's nobody even asks. Like, nobody even asks. We see you coming up.
Yeah, because we meat eaters.
Vegans, Gemini, listen, vegans are ethical.
Vegans are ethical. What is that?
No, whatever. Vegans don't eat.
Sorry, I didn't finish my statement.
Along with the meat.
No, I didn't finish my statement. Sorry, I didn't finish
So
my
vegans
statement.
can eat fish and chicken?
Wait, so let me explain. I mean, the reason why vegans are vegans is because they don't believe animal abuse or products. So that includes byproducts of animals. So the difference is really philosophical. You're not eating meat because of health.
Can y'all bring White Anthony up because he changed his face to white because I think Sammy Sosa sent him cream. So if we could bring him on stage, he's all the way at the bottom. And oh my God, the cream works so fast. Anthony.
Wow.
So Anthony White instead of Anthony Evans.
That's my brother. Yo, is that me go for real?
No, I don't think so. But you could bring, see if he comes up.
He's been bleaching. He's gotten a good bleaching.
Hey, Eldorado.
And you know what? It kind of looks better on him.
Did y'all click up the photo? That shit looks crazy.
Yo, that's wild.
Sorry guys, can't come up. I'm eating
He's embracing
We're
the
raising
culture.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, he's embracing this culture.
Yeah, embracing the culture is crazy.
Why did Sammy Sosa do that? I don't understand why he did that.
And his name is at Blackity Black. Yo, he wildin'.
That's like crazy, man. That was almost horrifying to me to see him like that.
He's smart. He's just better, bro. That's a sad boy.
I think other Caribbeans like to do that. He's not the only one that has done that.
He's cute.
Caribbean. Yeah, that's from the Caribbean. And I don't know nobody from the mainland that would do that other than my bro hat. I don't know nobody that would do that.
Because he's in the mainland. What are you talking
I
about?
think
I'm talking about here on the continent in America. I don't think I know nobody that's ever done that.
Because it costs
I think
money.
Anthony White is point. That's just what I think.
Big.
Anthony, come here, Anthony White. Show yourself.
Anthony White.
Anthony White is
Anthony White.
So I just wanna say something earlier, a long time ago, but just been waiting. The comment about being coming from kings and queens, like we all come from kings and queens, and that's a mathematical, like that comes from math. When you go back 1,000 years, we're also all descended from the peasants as well. So it's just like, what kind of attitude do you want to bring to your?
If they made me choose between my face and my nuts, I had to go with my face. I ain't gonna do my joints white like that. I'm not gonna whiten my joints.
There's an article to say an off-color comment where it's not awkward and weird, like you don't know how to do it.
Has anybody told you might have a problem? No.
Look, I just was thinking, would I do my face or my scrotum right?
Who thinks about this scrotum?
You see what I'm saying? What?
It's something
Hey, bro, look into the mind of a madman. But I would not let him do my scrotum. If they were going to do me, I'll just say, just do my face.
I'm not into the horror genre. Hey, son.
I'm just thanking God he's not screaming anymore.
That's a fact.
Because I had to keep turning my phone down, and then when I turned the phone down, I couldn't hear you speak, so I had to turn it back up. It was driving me crazy.
I know. Actually, I just remembered I had mine turned down as well, so I just because he don't understand how loud he is.
I got this trucker head and I'm sorry, all right? Lower my voice down a couple.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no. When you get the talking, you sound like you seriously want some speed or some coke, and it's like.
No, I don't use drugs.
I don't think.
I just thought it was the sound from the truck that was making him yell. Because I was like, we can't hear it. You can hear it, but we can't hear it.
Y'all know that's Anthony's burner, right? You think that's him? Absolutely. Because
I think it's funny.
He just used the word blackity black, and it says at blackity black. You don't see it right underneath black. Right underneath Anthony White, it says blackity black.
I seen the at blackity black, but he says blackity black all the time, so somebody trolling would know to use that.
That's what I said. I think. Okay. Point got a lot of burners, so Point and changed it to that. And when they painted his face like perfect. That shit is around the eyes, around the haircut.
Yo.
Who does he look like? He looks like somebody.
Like power.
He should have a sword. Zorro. He needs a sword or something like that.
This is funny. Even got to the neck, Mel. Look at the neck. The neck is white. Yo, around the mustache. Check out the mustache. Even the mustache got a little bit of sprinkles on it. Like, what's going on?
Hey, Robbie. You can see Robbie at the bottom. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie. Stupid ass.
I know Robbie's on she's very in Hollywood. She's a lot of work there. She just lost her brother not too long ago, so.
Shout out to Dutch Jumper. Shout out to all the women that do double Dutch. Shout out to y'all culture.
Hold on a second. Let that breathe. Thank you for the person that just gave one of my closest friends a shout out to her and her family.
Oh, it's me. It's cool, man.
What's up, fam?
It's good with it, man.
Everybody don't know where, but Robbie is in the room. I'm going to actually put a link in the chat. Duran was a tremendous human being. Done a lot for many people. He's a quiet assassin in the background making moves in Hollywood. And he left behind 4 beautiful children. He's going to be memorialized like next weekend, and I'm going to put a link in anybody feels so inspired. Feel free to go to that link and support his 4 children.
Yeah, she left Cole. I think
she probably didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she didn't. I have to apologize to her for that, man. I know she's still dealing with that, so.
Durant from Clubhouse?
Durant, that's her brother, yeah.
Durant Reed, famous cast
the black
in Hollywood.
Oh.
He was a casting director and an actor. I don't think Durant's been in Clubhouse.
No, he is not. But he would never be.
I didn't know.
But no, he's just a prominent Hollywood figure that's done a lot for a lot of people to put their careers on. From Jada Pinkett on down.
Yeah, I have to apologize for that. I don't know if I should have done that, but I just wanted to shout. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good, man.
It's met with positive energy. I don't see how it could be negative.
Yeah, but just timing, space. I think she's still very, very new.
Understood, respect.
It's kind that you were willing to hold space, though. Yeah, you came from a good space. I'm sure if she knows you, she knows you was coming from a good space.
What's new on the news? Anything new, guys?
You knew, Mel. You knew.
I'm old. New.
You're not old. You're seasoned.
Okay. One minute. So Anthony White said, Omar, what's up, my brother? Patty P.
I wish she was here earlier. She done missed a crazy room.
Shout out to my captain.
No, she wouldn't have been able to deal with this.
Anthony gave you
might not. That makes sense.
Yeah. That would not have been good. Patty P.
What up, Patty? What's up?
Patty in the building. What's up?
Congressman John wants to join.
Hey, Patty, what you think about this week, man? The Trump administration they're having. Patty, talk to me.
Oh,
same thing I think about your mom when they gave birth to you.
Damn. Straight for the hospital.
Come on, Patty, don't dump me, Patty. We got 30 days to prepare right now.
Yo, real spit. Like, I don't think you be like this. To me, I know it's all in jest, but like this shit is not funny. Like a lot of this shit is gonna have like some really tough repercussions for people's lives. Like, there's nothing fucking funny about any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how you don't.
You don't talk to the people that voted for this weird idiot.
But no matter how you meant it, like, it just shows how oblivious you are to the realities of it. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's real people who are going to be hurt by this shit. Like, this shit is not funny.
Hey, but Quinn, you don't think bombing that nuclear facility, that's not a plus for humanity?
Why is it a plus for humanity?
Do you understand that there was no nuclear equipment harmed? Do you understand that?
This is an affirmation.
You understand that the uranium was already relocated prior to that, and they had knowledge of that? You understand that, Omar?
That's what some people are saying. That's what some people.
No. It's not some people. Do you understand there will be trace elements left that they will be able to detect that they destroy uranium? You understand that?
All right, okay. Let's go.
You understand it has a half-life that's detectable? You understand that?
Yeah, even administration believes that they destroyed it.
What about the Rwandan condo deal? What about that?
This guy
Let's hear from somebody.
I'm gonna let somebody else.
Thank you to Biden.
Y'all know different than Anthony. I told y'all that.
Say thank you to Biden.
Y'all don't want to talk about black folks, though. Okay, y'all got it.
And
intelligent person. Come in, agent. Let me hear what you gotta say, agent.
Yeah, he wants to hear the Jamaican voice. We get it. You want to hear the Jamaican voice? You got it.
You support the Kagame regime? Why is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, you were talking about Rwanda, so you saying you support the Kagame regime?
Oh, absolutely. I've been there in 2009. You look at my PTR. I was in there in 2018. Of course, absolutely.
Finish eating your food, Omar.
Hey, you look at my PTR. I'm in the Rwandan streets. Still got a business over there.
Is that where the women beat your ass and took your iPad and shit?
No, listen. No, come on, man. Don't play me like that. Come on. Hey, white woman, you gotta stay on mute, right, on this one, bro. Listen, you look at my PTR, I was in Rwanda 2019. Still got a business over there. He love Kagame over there. Come on now.
It's just, I mean, what do you say? What do you say? Like, what can you say to someone with that frame of mind? Like, what can you say to them?
You just pray for them.
No, I don't even do that. Because fuck them, really. But like, on the real, but I mean, like, for the purposes of conversation, how do you converse with people who are unserious to that level? How do you do it?
You don't, brother.
That's exactly.
Hey, just say y'all don't care about the Congo or Rwanda. Just say it. I told you all this anti-black, man. Just say it. That's all.
Yo, man.
I think it's the way people think, y'all. Like, he's saying that the Hotel Rwanda is, not Hotel Rwanda, but the deal, like, he feels as though it's going to be a good thing. Is that what you're saying?
It's bringing peace. Absolutely.
So what's the deal? Can you tell us about
it? Tell us the deal. How did the deal come up?
Y'all know he's not going to be able to do that, right? You do know he can't articulate that in any intelligent.
There's more nuance, but listen.
Exactly.
And we get some of those minerals, right? The United States get some of those minerals. In return, Rwanda, they're going to get protection, security. The Congo going to get security, and they can build infrastructure. Once you have security and it's no war, right? Now you can start building.
When did we start working on this deal, sir?
Well, listen, the U.S. has probably been involved for years on this. Let's be honest. It's not an overnight thing. It's for all the credit.
why is he taking all the credit? If it's a joint effort, like, I mean, do you really know about that region? Do you really know?
Absolutely, I know about that region. I got stuff going on over there. Absolutely. Look at my PCR, boots on the ground, Robert. Come on, bro. I'm just talking.
Rwanda.
You think I'm just talking, man? Come on, man.
No, I'm asking a question. I want you to break down to us what the conflict was about. Like, break this down to us. We're listening.
I'm not going through the whole history of Rwanda. You don't know that right now.
Yeah, we don't have to go through the history of Rwanda. We know it's a unstable region. We know that. We know that they have children. We know that they have children soldiers in Rwanda, hence why the United States stopped funding their military, right? We know that.
I'm sure they have some stuff going on. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, they definitely. You've been to Rwanda, right?
I'll also be there this fall. This October, I'll be there.
You should go. You should visit the outline.
Yeah, let us focus on this pending bill. I want you guys to realize this is a man, our president, who wants to sign on July 4th merely for his show, so he can go through the whole independence spiel and all of that. Meanwhile, approximately 6 million people, I believe some numbers, are going to be cut off of benefit. And we're talking about people who are working. We're talking about working people who have supplemental income and need help just to make ends meet are going to be cut. That's medical, that's SNAP, etc., etc. Meanwhile, the richest of our country are going to receive a tax cut. So let me summarize this. You're going to cut from those at the bottom, and you're going to allow those at the top to eat more. That's what this bill represents. And you're talking about some Rwanda.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Robert. Does this bill help black people at all? Let me ask you a question.
It helps the rich.
Black people.
No. Does this bill help black people at all?
Bro, look, broaden your horizon, bro. This ain't about no mere black people. certain thresholds that have to be achieved. I'm not going to go pull it up, but I wanted to know, since you brought it up, since you asked about black people, we the only, bro, everybody, all Americans.
No, listen. First of all, we're Americans, so everybody's going to benefit. I asked you a specific question. Do black folks benefit from the no tax on tips?
Everyone is not going to benefit, sir.
It ain't about a large number of black folks who work overtime. Shout out to all of the real workers out there, essential workers. Are they going to benefit?
Where are you getting these numbers from?
Come on, man. We got to be honest, bro.
You went to Pew? I'm just saying,
Hey, Robert, do black folks work overtime?
Everybody works.
No. I'm asking you, do black folks? No. I'm trying to all lives matter this conversation. Do black folks work overtime?
Yes, you. I think that's you.
All right, you got it.
Like, come on, man. Listen,
man. Listen. I don't like some stuff that Trump did, but goddamn, you gotta give him credit on something. Goddamn.
Do you realize you're part of a cult? Do you realize?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing I don't like what Trump did, right? I don't like when he renamed all them bases and stuff. There's a lot of stuff I disagree with Trump in. But I can give the man credit when credit is due, bro. I'm not no cook like you are. You don't give a man no credit. You can give you $1 million.
I'm trying to figure out why do you think that he deserves credit in general? First of all, he's completely inept. Secondly, he's not suited for the position that he is in any way, shape, or form. He appoints people who are not, who are the same level of ineptitude. He is trying to systematically destroy the norms that we have in this country. Now, we can have a difference in opinion on what those things are specifically, but in general, he's just not good for this country and the things that he's doing. In general, there may be segments of people who aren't intelligent enough to decipher that, you being included in that number. But to know what he's doing in general, I'll keep saying that, for this nation is not going in the right direction. Corrective is one thing. But in general, he is not good for this nation, and the things he's doing are crippling this nation. You just haven't seen what is happening in general. The end result hasn't come yet. So everything still appears to be fucking normal right now.
I'm just asking. I may live in the sun somewhere, right? My question is, how does it serve me to give him credit? What do I get from that?
Well, what credit? What you mean?
In general. I don't agree with him on most things. So
that was my point.
Lots of people who work for tips don't make enough money to actually file for a tax return. It could possibly help those who are high earners when it comes to tips. But also the overtime issue too. What will happen is people will stop getting overtime. That's how easy
you're protecting now. You're protecting.
No, that hasn't happened yet. I'm not protecting anything. Lots of people who work for tips don't make enough money to file taxes.
I'm talking about overtime.
I'm not protecting on overtime either, because the American workers have years now. Hold it. You've been talking. That's been happening. Workers not even getting 40 hours a week and having to take 2 and 3 jobs. Families having to have 2 wage earners working 2 jobs. That's been a thing for some time now. Overtime isn't a thing that everybody gets, especially not low wage earners.
Hey, April, I ask you a question, right? How many black workers are employed by unions? How many? What percentages? What percentage of the union do they make up, black workers? That gets overtime.
Will you tell me? Do you know?
It's a high percentage. People are overrepresented in unions. Overrepresented, right? So unions, you get overtime, right? So that will affect black people that work in unions and get overtime. Come on.
Who tries to bust unions? It's not Democrats.
Now you're changing the conversation.
No, I'm not changing it at all.
Come on, y'all.
You're conflating.
Give the man some credit.
got 5 on?
I got 5 on it.
Good.
At my UAW plant, there's over 3,000 people working. There's only 12% black people on those 3 shifts. So I don't know where you're getting your numbers from because you know they closed the city a long time ago. General Motors. They closed the city. We have a very large plant. I'm just saying that they closed Buick City, so and all the factories in Detroit are shut down right now. And those were all EV plants in Detroit. So they're down because of Trump. And Buick City is gone. Flint is still working. I'm not sure how many black people are at Flint. Most of the people I know that work in Flint truck and bus are all white or Hispanic. But I'm sure there's some black. So I would give them at least the same amount at Flint as in Lansing. But it's not as many black people as it used to be.
And can somebody please read what I posted in the chat? Because I can't. Can you? I just go through the last few comments, please, and break that down, please, because I don't have the energy. I really don't. But yeah,
I don't see it in the chat. Rob, what's going on?
Go to my name. Just scroll down. I said, yeah.
You mean scroll up? Scroll up.
Yeah, the deduction applies to non-exempt workers, meaning hourly or non-professional employees or those earning less than $35,000 annual as of 2019. It does not extend to.
You ain't saying ain't no black professionals? You saying Robert? Hold on. Is that what you saying?
Jesus, yo. You know.
Hold on, Robert. Clear it up. You're telling me it's no black folks in those positions?
What are you stuck on this black thing? We want to talk about this bill. And what
all right.
People you said less than 35,000?
Yes, in the chat, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! So that means that the union workers ain't gonna get none of that.
Thank you. This is the point that I'm saying. Like, so this dude is speaking, and he hasn't even looked at the details of everything.
Hey, Robert, what's the detail? What's the detail? Robert, I didn't see that.
Wait, guys. It expires in 2028, right? Like, look at the details of this shit, homie. Like,
what's the detail you're saying, Robert? Can you repeat it? I'm sorry.
It's in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm moving around. Hold on. I'm gonna go through it. Okay, so firstly, the deduction applies to non-exempt workers, meaning hourly or non-professional employees or those earning less than $35,560 annually.
Is this a tips thing or what?
Yeah. This.
So you saying black folks ain't making less than $35,000?
This regards overtime. That's what we're talking about right now. I didn't dig into the tips yet, but I'm looking at the provision. This means that while workers might see a reduction in their federal income tax liability, their total tax burden, including pay, be completely eliminated for overtime earnings. Gotta read the details, guys. Like, come on, man. This cat is talking.
They said 4 million workers, I'm reading now, 4 million workers will be affected by the beautiful bill. Only 4 million workers, Robert. I don't know where you got that 30,000 from. 4 million. Million. Go ahead.
Say anything about those numbers. Maybe you think somebody else said that. I was talking about the threshold in terms of income.
Do you think I have a serious question. So do you think that somebody that's making less than $60,000 a year, let's just say 60, I'm gonna go at 60, $60,000 a year benefits more by receiving extra measly $100 on their check versus infrastructure and social programs?
Listen, to me, a measly $100. Listen, if it was me at my pay rate, I would say put it in infrastructure. But I understand that lady down the street, she may need that extra $100. You know, that grandmother, that uncle down the street, they may need that, Patty.
You're being disingenuous.
I would rather put it in infrastructure. But I know some people may need that.
You're being disingenuous.
Oh,
in the bill that says that people can cyanide like Trump. You gonna take a cyanide pill?
Absolutely not.
They're gonna need more than $100, right? So a lot of these people that don't make that much, if you read that bill, right, even talking about some of these social programs, say for example, you know how some of these states, or you know that they're gonna say that their income is like, you know how they pay for your daycare. The state to pay for your daycare so they can get your ass up off your feet and you can get a job because daycare is fucking hella expensive. Do you know that that's going to be incorporated as income? So some people are not going to be able to get that free daycare. They're not going to have access to food benefits. Like, it's a lot. This stuff is like crazy that y'all think that cutting taxes like this is great for the American people.
Patty, Omar understands this fundamentally. First of all, he's being obtuse. He understands that $100 is not going to do much for someone's long-term life versus social programs like the one you were just describing that's going to help them with their everyday lives. So he understands this. He's being obtuse for the purposes of conversation. He understands this, and he will continue to do this even despite what I'm talking about. Right? He will still say the same thing. He knows what you're talking about. He's being an asshole for the purpose of the conversation.
No, but that's not true, man.
You are. Stop being a dickhead.
No, I just realized some people are struggling out there, man. I'm trying to.
You don't care about the people that are struggling. Stop. Cut it out.
Hey, Mel, do you know anybody that can use $100 right now, Cash App?
Yes.
Why y'all keep saying $100? What is a $100 thing?
No, listen. I want somebody in the goo right now. The first person that put their Cash App in, I'm gonna give it to them right now. Cash App. $100.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is not serious. Like, this is all
First person in the Cash App. A lot of somebody with $100. But what does $100 represent?
Don't stay quiet
I think it's what the tax on the tip. I mean, the tax on the overtime. What they would have taken out of their check for overtime.
That's just a random number he made about a clear blue sky.
No, that's just a random number I gave.
The bill will
Oh, okay.
Right. Because you remember somebody said during the election, they was like, I like the extra $35 I was getting on each of my paychecks. I was like, the fuck you doing with $35? You worried about $35, but the Department of Education is suffering in each state, or you worried about $35 and there's fucking hungry people.
Can't make this stuff.
Somebody came on stage and said that dumbass shit. I upped the ante and said 100.
Oh, I thought that was what's his name? Omar that used that number. I thought I heard you say that.
No, I just upped the ante.
What you say?
Somebody said $35 out of their check. I got an extra.
Cash App. Where the Cash App at? Oh, nobody needs $100 here.
There's a Cash App in there. Go and bless that.
Yeah, I'll send it tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
Don't act like you don't see that shit now.
Patty, I'm just blown away. If that's true, that they have to make less than $35,000 a year, because all them crazy ass mad hats that turned against the union and voted for Trump, thinking that they was gonna not get tax on tax. Because I'm so glad I love them. They normally work 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week.
Yeah,
Hey, Kenan, did you get that? Did you get Kenan? Did you get that? Did you get?
Damn, I was not talking, really? So they are going to be so pissed because they don't read.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, bro. I got pulled over by the Columbus State Police this morning.
You're all here. You're welcome, brother. You're welcome, brother, man. You're welcome. Man. Anybody can use $100. Come on, y'all. You're welcome, brother.
talking out loud because they're gonna flip out when they find out that they're not gonna get the. Oh my God, they're gonna lose their minds.
Right.
That is correct. That is correct. Idiots.
I'm here for it. The problem is we all have to suffer alongside their idiot ass.
Yep. Look, Mr. Trump is a clear and present danger to our country. Simple as that. And I've been saying it. And y'all been noticing. I know some of y'all noticed that. We just can't. Every fucking time, it's just more and more and more and more and more. So, yeah, he's not going to stop. He will go. It's like a disease. The disease will like devour its host until the host is no longer alive.
I think what's more scary than the ruling in regards to birthright citizenship is the implications of that ruling.
Yep.
Right? It's a lot, like everybody's hyper-focused on the fact that, oh, you know what, he's going to attack birthright citizenship and this and that, which is a big deal, right? But there's a bigger deal, and that is the Supreme Court basically that we cannot limit the powers of his executive orders.
That's correct. A federal...
That is giving more power to the executive branch and taking it out of the hands. And that's scary because if you look at the makeup of the Supreme Court currently, he appointed 3 of them who are widely considered unqualified, by the way. And then the other 3 were appointed under, was it Bush? I think it's Bush.
Yes.
So we have a predominantly, I'm going to land real quick, but we have a predominantly Republican fucking Supreme Court that's now ruling in his favor, and half of them are unqualified, and they're limiting what people are able to do as far as limiting his executive orders, and he's written more executive orders in the first half of his presidency, in the first half year of his presidency, than most have wrote in the entire 4 years when they were president. Are you?
And that's how
He never meant to govern. He never meant to govern because Republicans don't govern. When's the last time they passed any fucking piece of legislation that had anything to do with helping anybody but their cronies and their donors? I haven't seen it out. Somebody have to knock my memory loose because Republicans don't govern. Trump had no plans to govern. He only wants to be a dictator, and the House, okay, who has to do the bills and kick them up to the Senate, they are in his pocket. There will be no governing. There'll only be the EOs, executive orders, and whatever he wants the House to pass through. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Trump supporters continually cry about immigration, and yet the bill to help fix immigration, that he said, no, don't do it. I need to politic on that. I need to have that in my campaign so I can say what Joe and Kamala didn't do. Where is that now? What are Republicans doing now on immigration other than having eyes around people up that even Americans and people who haven't had any criminal record here? Where's MS-13? How many of them have been deported? Y'all don't know. You have no clue.
So, Gemini, when you have a challenge, I think it's also interesting to take a look at what the opportunity is. And one of the opportunities is to get some of these things to the Supreme Court faster, because if you have 2 different district rulings that are opposite of each other, then you have inconsistent law, and that expedites the process of getting something to the Supreme Court. So if it's strategized correctly, this ruling could actually work against Trump.
But then,
ruling about national injunction. So if one judge from the lower court does a national injunction, how is another judge overturning that?
No, so it allows you to, you can now essentially venue shop, right? So like the rulings now basically say that it's only relevant, the ruling only applies to the district.
100%. So 100%. So now that means if I'm in the state of fucking California and they say it's legal here, then I can go to Texas where it's legal.
So you basically, what you want to do is you want to have 2 districts rule opposite. So one say it's legal, one say it's not legal, right? But the moment that happens, it has to be expedited to the Supreme Court because now the law is inconsistent.
And then they're saying...
You understand what I'm saying?
So think during the arguments, the oral arguments, she said something about case by case. Because now you got to name every plaintiff that's in the case. You understand what I'm saying? So for something to be like, say you do some type of injunction, every plaintiff that's in that case may be covered, but everyone else will not. Listen to the oral arguments. Amy had some really good talking points. So did Sotomayor. So I'm telling you, as well as Keegan, it was the females. The females was going hard in the fucking paint. They were asking the right questions. Like, and if you listen to a lot of the questions they asked during the oral arguments, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, this is what can happen. Like, if let's say it was Roe versus Wade all over again, right? Every person.
You cutting out, Patty.
You're in the matrix, Patty.
Yeah, Patty, are you there?
I think she was
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you listen to the oral arguments, they have some really good talking points on why this doesn't make sense. I don't understand why Amy voted with them, or did she not? I need to look at who voted with what. But she had some really good talking points.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you were getting into like Roe versus Wade again. So I think
not Roe versus Wade. It was about this particular Supreme Court case.
Oh, but I thought you were using that example.
Yeah, I'm just talking about any case, right? So anything that goes before the Supreme Court apply to whoever is mentioned in that actual in that brief.
Yeah, so essentially two district courts can now rule differently on the exact same federal issue, right? So when this happens, this creates a crisis and you can expedite to the Supreme Court. So I'm just saying that, like, if you strategize this correctly, you can actually get things to the Supreme Court faster.
Back to what I was initially saying, I guess we gotta wait 30 days to see what the if they counter this, right?
Hey, to be honest about that birthright stuff, that kind of surprised me. You know what I mean? I thought because I listened to the opening arguments, I thought, man, Trump's team got crushed. I thought their lawyers was incompetent.
But they weren't talking about the actual amendment.
Yeah, I know that too, Patty. I know that too.
Application. They were talking about application of lower courts doing nationwide injunctions.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that.
They're not gonna. Look, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope they're not that stupid. But I don't think anybody's gonna try. I don't think he's gonna bring to court the actual birthright citizenship. They're piecemealing this shit, right?
I don't think he is either.
Well, power.
It's about the injunctions, about if the lower courts can put an injunction or stay against an executive order. I think that's the.
Yeah, but Gemini, one thing about white supremacy is slow. You know, it ain't about this overnight thing. It's a slow process. And the Heritage Foundation and all those groups there, all those different groups, America's First Policy, they want birthright citizenship going. You know, it's going to be a slow process, though. I don't agree with it. Me personally, that's not my big thing I voted for. You know, that's not on my agenda. But, you know, it's a slow process.
You guys do understand what this is about, right? What this bill allows now, or rather with this recent ruling, we will no longer see, it prevents the bad imagery of parents being separated from their children. So to those that arrived in this country recently, first generation, the children that resulted while they they were no longer U.S. citizens. They can be deemed not U.S. citizens.
How?
On the track, but that's what the rule says. That's what the rule says. Look at
That's pseudo, Robert. That's pseudo.
No, that's not. No,
That's 125th Street Harlem Bible right there, bro.
Okay. Well, this is someone who doesn't do research, so you wouldn't know anyway. So the point is that, for example,
You're wrong, Robert. You're wrong.
Oh, okay, just prove me wrong, sir. Just put it in the chat, please. I welcome your research. All right, and so that's where this is going, because these images of them being separated from the children being left here, and the children and the parents being shipped out, it was bad PR for the administration. Now they can just move the whole damn family.
Is anybody following the fact that Project 2025 is almost 50% complete, and we're 50% through the year?
Oh yeah.
Let them slow, Gemini.
Right, that's what I'm putting listening your eyes on with it. Like, and this is one of the key components. Ending birthright citizenship was part of Project 2025, even though he claimed to have no knowledge of it. Isn't it funny how it's being implemented without him being aware of it at all? But he's just subconsciously following that blueprint.
Yeah, this is saying that people born on this soil are not necessarily deemed Americans, guys. That's what this is saying. Like, y'all better. I don't think people realize that.
No, we get that. I would have seen that there's a bigger point that they're stopping the lower courts, even though they're giving them another 30 days, I think, to respond or refute their ruling in regards to their initial injunction. It's just showing that they're taking the power away from the judicial branch and consolidating it with the executive branch by this rule if it stands.
But I suggest everybody read the American First policy. Forget Project 25. Project 25 has a lot of fluff, right?
Don't forget it. It's been implemented.
Policy is a lot of fluff. Project 25 actually has mandate.
No, listen, what I'm saying is the America First policy gives you the walk. You know, it's going to dog walk you through everything, and everything is planned out. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, so America First is actually a PowerPoint presentation with a lot of fluff. Project 2025 actually has mandates. It's a fucking think tank. These guys have put a lot of shit together. They've worked with lawyers. Like, come on, man.
I put it in the chat, man. Look it up, man. I'm telling you, read it. Read up on it.
I don't even know what a think tank is. I promise you. They don't.
No, listen. Project 25 is a good talking point. You know, people know that was the first thing that came up. But they go.
It's not a talking point. It's not a talking point. It's being implemented. Hold up. In Project 2025, they talk about banning DEI. They talk about mass deportation. They talk about ending birthright citizenship. Right? They're talking about defunding federal agencies like the Department of Education. Right? So you don't see that being implemented in real time?
Hold on, I'm gonna put it in hip hop terms for you, right?
I don't need it to put it in hip hop. Answer my question. Nobody's stupid over here. I don't need you to hip hop it for me.
Listen.
Racist shit.
Hold on. Project 25 is like the blueprint, right? Whereas America First is reasonable doubt for y'all JC fans. You know what I mean?
What the fuck are you talking about? We don't know what you mean. We don't know what you're saying. I don't speak hip hop. I don't speak hip hop. Can you articulate yourself in clear, concise terms?
I'm a hip hop nigga.
Okay, I'm not a hip hop nigga, so can you speak to me like an educated person?
Man, I live this shit.
I'm not a hip hop nigga. Can you speak to me like?
No, but I'm just trying to. I'm trying to put get y'all game right now.
I don't need game. I need information that's factually based.
America First is the policy that the Trump administration is going by. That's all I'm saying, brother. It's walking you through. It's reasonable doubt. It's illmatic.
Thanks for that game, I guess.
And now you make me wonder if you really know hip hop.
I actually love hip hop, but don't talk to me like an idiot. Hip hop, hippity hop. Fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, Jamal.
I looked at his link, and I'm just going to go through these pillars. Pillar 1, make the greatest economy in the world work for all Americans. Huh? Pillar 2, put patients and doctors back in charge of healthcare. Huh? See, I guarantee if you go through and read these pillars, it's the same thing in Project 2025.
Pillar 3, restore America's historic commitment to freedom, equality, and self-governance. Pillar, what the hell was it, 4? Give parents control of the education of their children. Pillar 5, secure the border, end human trafficking, and defeat drug cartels. This mofo with this,
Read the issues.
April, come on, tell me he's not doing that exactly.
April, read the
hush.
One mic on April.
Hush. We have human trafficking being advanced with these fake ICE agents. And you can see it because people get together in groups and run them off. You wouldn't be able to run off the federal agents. Your ass would not be able to do it. These are fake people or people who've been deputized to get out here and harass and traffic other people. You want to tell me, oh, please, they're so concerned about trafficking, they've made it even more possible for human traffickers to get out here and pretend that they're ICE agents and people up. So don't tell me this pillar shit. We already know they're halfway through Project 2025, okay? This pillar shit is going to be exactly what Project 2025 is. I'm going to do it.
commercial project.
But it is. No, you want the commercial. You want the commercial. That's what you want.
Nobody in those circles mentioned Project 25 Patrol. Outsiders. I'm trying to
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to get y'all real game. I'm too smart. I don't know. Okay, y'all too smart.
His own press secretary has something to do with Project 2025.
Y'all stuck. Y'all don't want
You ain't got no damn
information you got.
Omar, it's the opposite. I mean, the reason why they don't talk about 2025 because they know it's not public. But they give you the fluff. They give you the sales presentation. But the contract, the details, what is actually happening is Project 2025. And that's the shit that they know that you won't read.
No, that was the fluff.
Who just said that?
Y'all know it all. Y'all got it.
Who was that that was talking? Was that Agent?
Yeah.
Agent, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Exactly.
Robert, you got a hot.
So I got some the spending cuts that they announced in the big beautiful bill also for farming. It cuts $294 billion from SNAP, EBT, stripping food aid for millions while hurting farmers who lose $70 billion in food sales. Slashes nutrition assistance for seniors, kids in rural communities who depend on SNAP to put food on the table. As $2.4 trillion, forcing future cuts to USDA conservation and support programs. It's really fucking ridiculous what they're suggesting.
So, Gemini,
I'm sorry, 2.4 trillion to the national debt. That's what I wanted to say.
So, Gemini, I know you're a businessman, so I'm going to put you in terms you will understand for this analogy. I think this fits it perfectly. I mean, so America First is the PowerPoint, the sales presentation. Project 2025 is the white paper.
I disagree. I disagree.
What do you disagree with?
Because remember, generally, a white paper is what? 2, 3, maybe 3 pages, 4 pages, maybe, right? Project 25 is like a fucking 200. They just throwing shit out there.
Now, white paper can be usable.
You know what I'm saying? No, what I'm saying is
what you don't have is a 200-point presentation. That's what you cannot have. You can have a 30-page white paper if you like, if it makes sense.
What I'm saying is, America is a complex thing, right? But it's broken down to every individual. Nobody generally is going to read Project 25, right? Nobody's going to read that shit. There's so much going on. It's like a free style. I compare Project 25 like a free style. You know what I mean?
Omar,
I still understand what he said. You're right, people should
most of the people on the stage that's not reading Project 25.
we got it together. What are you talking about?
I said most people haven't. Come on.
I used to listen to it at work. I listened to it in my car.
Exactly.
Yeah, but America
and we
First.
talked about it for over a month.
America First. You like this? Project 25 is the rough draft. America First is what they're implementing. And I'm trying to put you on.
I'm telling you, the major point of Project 2025 is about 50% complete.
What's the 50%, Gemini? Go ahead.
It sure is.
Better earlier, 1 second.
What's the 50%?
Man, when the fuck are you gonna listen?
I literally said this earlier. You realize that, right? The
Anthony White's not even coming out.
He's not going to listen to you anyway.
Yeah, somebody gonna have to answer.
And listen, if y'all better not let my man win in New York City, it's really going to be over for y'all in 2028. I'm talking about it's a wrap.
Who's your man?
Your man, what's his name? McDonnie? What's his name is? McDonnie? His name? My man is in New York City. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the damn Democrats. A wrap.
What the fuck's his name?
Why would it be a wrap?
Man, you know how much like that McDonnie nominee is like wrapping up the other side, the opposition. I mean, they're winning that easy on a cultural war level. Easy on a cultural
Omar is correct about this. If Mamdani wins, the turnout, if Mamdani wins, the turnout for 2026 midterms is going to be way higher than it otherwise would be. That is true.
Wait, but Omar, you did not see his rap video? Lupita was in his rap video.
Yeah, but that was optics, though. Come on.
No, but you said you were talking rap or hip hop, so I wanted to talk back.
Yeah, but it gotta be authentic. Come on, you know America bumping that, Scotty. Come on, man. Hey, Scotty. If anybody knows New York culture, is Scotty. You know New Yorkers ain't bumping that.
I know, brought out a lot of young.
He wasn't doing it to start a career.
I'm just really curious. Were you being serious, Omar, when you said you don't see Project 2025 getting implemented? Are you serious right now?
No, that's not what I saw.
Are you telling me his executive orders don't align with it for the most part, the majority?
Yeah, you're going to find some stuff in there. But what I'm saying is, the project you should be worried about is America First. That's all I'm saying. That's the one he's following. I would say Project 25, like I said, that's more like the commercial side of everybody talking about clickbait. But he's really doing America First project.
Yeah, this is bullshit. So, CEO, I want to know what makes you think that won't happen on the other side of the aisle, too. So and people get so hyper-focused on what's going to be, and maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But what makes you think that his win won't turn out more Democrats?
Well, I'm assuming the left is already going to be super motivated for 2026. So I can't imagine how much more juice you're going to squeeze out of that orange. Whereas the right, I think, be a little bit content. But you have Mamdani win, then I think that will end up increasing the right turnout a lot more than it otherwise would be.
What's the theory behind that? Why would
It's because New York, because Mamdani, I'm seeing all the conversations on this. So the whole defund the police, the socialism feel, the taxing white neighborhoods more, all this and that. A lot of the stuff he says, it really will route.
Okay, but it's also going to rile up people on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah, but they're already motivated, though, right?
So following that theory, the same thing could happen during the time when we thought that mail-in voting was going to disproportionately benefit Democrats, and that did not turn out more Republicans. He actually told them to stay home.
Okay, so let me say it like this. Let's just say the excitement. But let me try to make it measurable though. Let's say the excitement level on the left is 90%, and on the right it's 75%. Okay, so you can make the left more excited, but you only got 10 more points to go. Okay, whereas on the right you got more room to grow because the excitement level ain't as high. So that's my point.
I don't agree with that theory, brother. I don't see how that. The bottom line, the numbers are the numbers. But I understand that you think that it may motivate more Republicans to get out in retaliation. I don't think that. I think you're underestimating what happens on the other side. And then typically, I guess when we're talking about numbers of turnouts, they have to discourage people from going to vote, via voter suppression, because they're afraid that if more people vote, they're going to lose, and that's typically how it's been.
Well, there's not gonna be a lot of ability to do that, though, right? Because Trump will motivate the other side to come out after all that happened, right? So that motivation's going to be there already. So I'm just debating with you over how much more room. You're already extra motivated, so how much extra motivation can you put on top of extra motivation?
Those rural whites that are going to be affected by these cuts to these benefits, those rural whites are really going to feel it. So they're going to be voting against Trump.
No, I don't agree with that. I think they'll stay home with anything.
Can I back in here? I didn't hear the part, CEO, about him taxing white neighborhoods. Did I get that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I don't know how that happens, but he also said that he doesn't want to defund the police, like he's mentioned that. So, but I don't know, how do you tax the white neighborhoods?
But he said it multiple times. He said it multiple times.
But that's on his stance now. I think if anything.
But he said it recently. He said it last year.
Defund the police. He doesn't want to. No, but he's campaigning now. He's running for mayor. He doesn't want to defund the police.
He was running for mayor last year.
Was he? I don't remember that. I mean, he doesn't want to defund the police multiple times in this campaign. And I don't know how you tax white neighborhoods. I'm not sure how you go about that since the state.
Yeah, so here I'm just gonna.
I'm reading it right now.
I'm giving you the link right now. It's a New York Post.
Yeah, the
governor in the chat
says he's gonna shift property tax burdens away from low-income donors, outer boroughs, towards wealthier, predominantly white neighborhoods like parts of Brooklyn and Manhattan. The plan aims to remove outdated assessment caps, recalibrate effective rates so that high-value homes in affluent areas pay more while lower-income communities pay less.
Yeah, the Jewish community in New York is not happy. I can guarantee that they're gonna come together like Voltron. I promise you. New York is a lot of people. You gotta realize a lot of independents couldn't vote in this in the primary. So at this time in history, the only person that New Yorkers feel confident about in light of the administration that's now in power, it would have to be either Adams, because he's, right? And then Cuomo. Cuomo got the balls to stand up to a Trump. So, but this new guy, he's not built for what we need in New York right now. He's just not built for it.
Well, come on, because it looks like he's going to win.
What are you basing that on?
What you mean? Just what I hear from people from New York.
Yeah, Cuomo campaign has been lackluster. It's a long time to November. And if you have, if you got Cuomo, Adams, and Sliwa all kind of ganging up to beat this guy down and go after him, that's going to be an issue for him. He's going to take incoming from everywhere. And I suspect that, if Cuomo recognizes he doesn't have a chance to win in October, he'll probably drop it.
Yeah, it's going to be those three candidates because Cuomo's still on deck. Definitely, it's going to be. I think it might be the first time in history that we've had three independent candidates.
I'm upset. Cuomo and Adams will split the votes.
Yeah, but you know what? New York does need a centrist Democrat, not a extreme left, to be honest.
That rap video
is crazy as hell about Scotty. It's like that. It's reasons like that I'll never run for any office.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do that. I'm reading the link, so I appreciate you posting it.
Scotty, you read the message in the chat?
Oh, no, I don't know.
The only way is if Cuomo makes behind-the-scenes deals with the Hasidic community.
Okay, well, that's not my community, and Jews are not a monolith, which is why many of them are supporting.
I'm talking to you because you're the damn New York on stage, puñeta.
Okay.
Cut it out.
That was for everybody.
Scotty Plus, okay.
I mean, Borough Park did vote 80% for Adams, which does show you something.
Yeah, he got the Hebrew community on deck. Definitely.
He's got the Hasidic Orthodox community.
Yep. He definitely has them.
So that means Cuomo got the Jews and the Christians?
I think they're split that. I think him and Adams, I think they're about even on the support from those two groups.
And Adams is a...
Now, I got to do business with that man. I need him in the office for another 4 years. I ain't even going to front. I got a project.
Robert, I said the same thing to them.
May not like how he handled himself.
But it is what it is. If he ain't there, then it is what it is.
Got an $81 million project. I need this funded. Real.
Well, I think I said a long time ago in this room that if Mamdani wins, the path for Adams is more clear. And look what's happening. But I'll mute up. I don't know anything.
Hey, Patty. What's up? I was live on TikTok.
I'm feeling disenfranchised now with all these plus people on stage.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the average? I was just talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 to 5 here. No, I was just talking about y'all crazy people on Clubhouse.
How'd it go?
Not talking about us on TikTok.
Yeah, why? That was only the beginning. But no, I just
on TikTok.
Did you start getting some big surprises?
So I don't know how to read this. I mean, I haven't gone live in a long time, so I don't know what that means.
Just be like share, tap, gift. Like
yeah, you don't have to show me all that. I don't know what I'm doing. I seen stuff coming through. They were saying raise your goal and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys put what your goal is on there so that people can try to help you meet your goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, it was fun. It was good. You can teach me more. Yeah. An agent is only $4.99. You want me to cash out $5?
Right.
Well, I have to make a decision between my kids and Clubhouse Plus.
Boy, bye. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. All right. So what's happening?
I don't know, but Omar finally left. Whew, that was a long time, Omar.
Oh, look at El May talking about Black Share Cash App. What's going on, El May?
I'm in the room like for background, right? And I do some
ice cream.
Oh yeah, right. I ain't gonna have this now.
Mr. Softy.
Oh shit, I'm running out.
Oh my God. I miss Mr. Softy.
Yo, I had to shave my freaking beard today. I'm so mad.
Oh no, why?
The one in Queens used to sell weed too.
I was shaving up. I was picking it up and I beat myself, so I had to cut the whole shit off.
Oh no.
It's crazy. I like that.
for you guys, it's weird. It like always has to end like, remove me from the room. Oh my fucking! You had the fucking temerity to question me about removing that fucking dickhead Andre, and you just randomly removed my friend Bible from the room multiple times.
I did it once.
Do you have no shame?
I did it once.
Regardless.